Welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast, strategies that help entrepreneurs build reputable and profitable brands. Here's your host, Henry Kaminski Jr.
What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. Henry Kaminski here from Unique Designz.net with another daily gem. And today I am on the road. We are meeting with a client in a couple of minutes. And I wanted to get today's daily gem in the books. And so here it is, guys. I want to address a question or challenge you to ask your question to yourself. Maybe your product or service just sucks. And you gotta face it, and you gotta just live with it, and you gotta just ask that real question before you start to go out and start looking for the next best tactic, the next best strategy. And so today I want to talk about, is your brand buzzworthy? And we talked about yesterday about brand triggers and how to create that confidence inside of your brand, inside of your audience, to get them to buy, right? And to get them to pay attention to you and not the competition. So today I want to talk about a subject that not a lot of people want to talk about. And it's looking at your product or service and asking yourself, well, maybe my product or service just sucks. Maybe I need to spend some time with it. Maybe I need to spend some resources on it to make it buzzworthy, to make it something that my audience actually wants. I see this 1,000 times, guys. Entrepreneurs get a harebrained idea and they immediately go and try to sell it without doing the homework first, without going to an audience and asking them, is this something that you might want in your business? Or is this something that you might want in your life? Right? And they go on to try to sell this with lackluster result. And then what happens? They wind up giving up, and then they wind up sitting on the curb with their elbows on their knees and their hands on their cheeks, going, now what? Now what do I do? I just spent $100,000 on this campaign. I just spent $25,000 on this. I just spent $5,000 on this campaign. To find out that nobody wants it. Nobody wants my product or service. How could that be? It's such a great idea. I came up with it. Guys, it doesn't work that way. There's 100 ways to Sunday to figure out how to become a buzzworthy brand. And I'm going to share with you 2 very simple and practical ways to become a buzzworthy brand. 1, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your product or service. And number 2, you have to know that there is a need for it. You have to ask the questions that people sometimes don't want to ask to find out whether or not your product or service is even worth creating or moving forward with. And so there's 2 things. There's basically the lesson of today is this. I want you to ask yourself a question and ask yourself, what am I afraid of when it comes to asking my audience what it is that they truly want, need, and desire? What's holding you back from asking that question? Because it's that simple. And we all make things so complicated Every single day, we add all these ingredients into a recipe that doesn't need it. And then we step back and say, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. When the answer is right under your nose, and it's super, super simple. I see a lot of entrepreneurs just getting too romantic with their ideas, with their product or service. I see a lot of entrepreneurs not getting clear with what their product or service even is. How do you expect somebody to buy something from you when you can't even figure out what it is that you do? God, my blood's boiling right now as I'm thinking about this, because I see the failure before it happens when I'm working with entrepreneurs and they have shit product or service. But they're so worried about lead generation. They're so worried about followers. They're so worried about views and likes on their social media. But when you look at their product or service, it just sucks. And it's boring. And there isn't a beginning. There isn't an end. It's just this gray blob just floating. And they think that that's going to sell. One of the things that I got real clear with when I was creating Unique Designz, and when shit hit the fan in 2011 and Fiverr came out, and I said, holy shit, I got a graphic design business and now there's people doing it for $5. Right? How the hell am I supposed to sell a design for $300 to $500 when there's other people selling it for $5? I got slapped real quick. And I said, what do I turn Unique Designz into? Because this ain't gonna work anymore. And I realized I had a tremendous amount of branding background, but I wasn't positioning it the right way. I wasn't using it the right way. And then it clicked. I said, entrepreneurs, business owners, without a brand, they don't have a business. Without me, per se, or anybody in the branding industry, if they don't have a design that connects, if they don't have a brand message that connects, they don't have a business, they don't have customers. So I knew I needed to shift my positioning, shift my brand, shift the way I speak to people, shift the way I connect with my audience. And I dialed into what they want. And I stopped being boring. I stopped being afraid to ask questions that had to be asked and had to be answered if my audience wanted the results that they wanted. So stop being chicken shit and get out there and start asking those questions. Start investing in your brand. Start investing in yourself. Start investing in your product or service. Make that better. Because when you make that better, then it becomes buzzworthy. Because when people care, they share. Right now, the reason why your business and brand sucks is because no one cares about it. No one thinks they need it. No one thinks they want it. Nobody desires what you're giving them. When I truly invested in my business, I looked at my two programs, my Branding on Demand and my Brand Accelerator program, and I said, how can I make these two programs the freaking best thing I possibly can so my audience can get the results that they're looking for? Better customers, better products or services, better messaging, better connection with their audience, more revenue, a life that they can live, that a business that will provide for their family, right? So they can do the things that they want to do. And I invested a shit ton of time, a shit ton of resources, and a shit ton of energy and money into those programs to make them the best that they can. And now people are talking about them. And now it's starting to create buzz. So I'll leave you with that, guys. Maybe you need to look in the mirror and look into your brand's product or services and ask yourself, is it that they just suck? And maybe I need to spend a little bit more time and effort and investing in myself and in my brand and in my product or service so I'm not boring. Maybe I'm a little too romantic with what I'm doing right now. Maybe I need an outside perspective. Maybe I need another set of eyes to look at things because I can't see it myself because I'm too damn close to it. Happens all the time. Listen, it happens to me too. That's why I have my inner circle of people to help me and guide me in the right direction so I don't lose focus and start worrying about shit that don't matter when I should be worrying about my product or service and how buzzworthy they are. That's what triggers people to buy. That's what makes you a great brand. That's what makes your service shareable. That's what makes your messaging shareable. That's what makes you awesome. So I'll leave you with that, guys. I gotta run. Have an awesome day. I'll catch you on tomorrow's Daily Gem. Take care.
You've been listening to the Brand Doctor Podcast with Henry Kaminski Jr. To get your appointment with the doctor, visit Brand Audit at www.uniquedesignz.net.